Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be reviewing LOL OMG House of Surprises Season 2. I do feel like Season 2 is an improvement from Season 1. Quick backstory on this video: 4 months ago I made an LOL OMG review, and I was not able to upload a part 2 of my review for Season 1 due to copyright issues, but then I realized that the original video was copyrighted, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make that part 2. And around that time, LOL OMG just released season 2. And I figured that it was a perfect time. It was like right on the dot, right on the nose to make a season 2 review and see whether OMG has improved or not. So let's get started. As far as plot wise, we have the Glitter City Mall, which is the new House of Surprises. And I do like how they expand their universe. And to me personally, I feel like season 2 is definitely a step up from season 1, and May is definitely actually better than Rainbow High season 1, Rainbow High season 3, which is kind of sad for me to say because I'm a big fan of Rainbow High. I mean, even my channel name is after a Rainbow High character. I am a massive fan of Rainbow High, and it's pretty sad to see the way things are downfalling. But anyway, let's get started with the plot. The plot gets started when King B is reviewing the Glitter City Mall, which he bought. And yeah, I feel like the people in the B family are pretty rich considering that Royal B bought a diner and now King B is buying an entire mall. So things downpour pretty quickly when Royal B finds out that her brother has bought the Glitter City Mall. She says that he quote unquote stole it from under her, which right off the bat you get a very clear dynamic between the two characters. They're kind of like cats and dogs, but not really. Another cute blip that I get is when Swag says that he kind of chickens out along with Royal B and saying that he's terrible in a group project, which kind of supports my headcanon that Swag and Royal B are closer and older than the other girls, which I think it's kind of cute that Royal B, King B, and what's her name? Yes, Swag all went to the same school together. So I feel like that's quite an interesting Easter egg for those of you LOMG headcanoners. Anyway, back to the plot. So it turns out that Royal B's brother is kind of a chicken. He has great ideas and can't execute them decently, but whenever it comes to struggle, he just kind of chickens out. And that is not very good, obviously, for Royal B and the other girls, considering the fact that he's owning a mall, which is a major responsibility. Things take a massive turn. Sorry. Things take a massive turn, though, when it's time for Royal B to host this event where Swag is practicing her art on the balcony, and the supersonics show up, and basically things get very crowded. King B shows up, though, suggesting that he has a solution to this problem. He suggests that they should move all of this to the Glitter City Mall, which would not only have space to provide for some of the people up here, but would also clear more space at the House of Surprises. Royal B insists that she does not need his help nor his space. But the actuality of the situation is that the balcony is just not enough space to foster all these projects, where each person gets their own individual space and time. You can clearly see by this one little scene that Royal B is definitely negligent of taking up King B's offer, especially since he has a kind of a thing for chickening out, which she's not too thrilled about, especially considering that if he chickens out now, this could ruin all of her plans and stuff that she's been planning for quite a while. And I like that final scene at the end of episode 1 where everyone kind of nudges her that she should do it despite her doubts because they really don't have any other options. And so Royal B decides that, you know what, we're going to take some of this to the mall, which then leads to episode 2. Skipping quite a bit of stuff that happens in episode 2, basically the premise is that Lady Diva and Neonlicious both go to the mall together to do whatever it is that they were doing. And they find out that there's this lady here who's supposed to be reviewing the Glitter City Mall and how things are going out and how things are working. Kind of like a city inspector, but more on the media side, if you know what I mean, like getting press for the mall in a way. So basically, it's a very basic plot. Mostly, it's a very basic plot that happens in children's shows or, just shows in general, like the main character or protagonist have this thing they want to show, whether it be a presentation or whatnot, and then it fails horribly. And then when the person who's supposed to review it shows up, and then at the end of the day, they somehow pull spontaneous whatchamacallit and solve the problem at the end of the day. Or the answer was that the criticizing person wasn't really criticizing them in the first place or whatnot. I don't know. So the majority of this episode is pretty basic, with Neonlicious and Lady Diva just complaining about stuff and asking for extra things, which eventually runs them all out of resources, which is where the interesting stuff starts happening. So basically, Lady Diva tries to do something with the watering system. I forgot what it was, but it has something to do with the project that she was working on that she left the House of Surprises to do. And it turns out that they ran out of water. So, yeah, there's no water running in the kitchen to make the drinks or food. There's no water at the hair salon, which leaves Gracie Skates and Goldie Twists with their hair in towels, I guess. Which, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of random chaos happens. Alt Girl loses her cats or kittens, and they start making a mess. And there's this random disco light hanging from the ceiling. And apparently, it's entirely, and I mean entirely, his fault or whatnot. And so chaos happens, and then out of nowhere, the lights just switch off out of nowhere. And I feel like that ending where the lights just go dark, I feel like that's very interesting. So, yeah, skipping a bunch of stuff. Neonlicious and Lady Diva FaceTime Royal B and Swag to let them know of the situation. They drive down to the place and they see King B running away, and they realize, oh wait, you're chickening out again? Isn't this what you said you just weren't going to do? And I do like the ending of this episode where he wasn't actually chickening out, but he was actually running away to solve the problem, and then they can finally fix it together once they team up. So the situation gets revolved, everyone is happy, yada yada yada, next episode. I did kind of gloss over that last part of the episode because I want to move forward to the more interesting plot. I'll do a part two of this video. I know, a part two that's supposed to be a second part to another series. But basically, just to really round up the video, which sets up the new plot that's going to be taking place. So, there's a bunch of shops at the mall, including Alt Grrrl's shop, Neonlicious's shop, Mrs. Glam's shop, and they're kind of doing this competition because there are these things called tokens in a way. So when someone gives you their token, you kind of like get a point. And Alt Grrrl sets this competition that whoever gets the most tokens at the end of the day, deemed the most popular shop, will get to design the new community space, which is definitely something. I'm wrapping up this video and I will go back in my part two to kind of relook at more things that happens in the episode. But yada yada yada, there's just one part that I do really like. Alt Grrrl and Neonlicious end up teaming. Sorry, not Leonlicious. Candylicious. Alt Grrrl and Candylicious end up teaming up, and it turns out that Alt Grrrl wants savory donuts, which, well, her savory donuts don't really work. And Candylicious says this one line, why does it have to be edgy to be cool? And she also mentions how she loves a cotton candy aesthetic. And I mean, I just love that part so much as a girly girl because girly things are not only considered to be immature and childish and less superior to more edgy things that are deemed as better. And you're also deemed stereotypical, like overly sweet, kind of dumb if you're a girly girl, which I feel is strange. But basically, to get to the plot, the ending of this episode basically does come to show that the girly things are not always the alty, edgy things aren't always the best things. And I feel like the main lesson of this episode is that like you should accept other people's ideas because your ideas won't always be right. Because Alt Grrrl does end up making her savory donuts after Candylicious quits, and yeah, that doesn't go very well. So I'll stop talking about the plot here and kind of talk more about the character dynamics. Generally, I do feel like season two is a definite step up from season one. And I am very excited to see what else is going to happen in season two and how they expand more on this plot and the relationship between Alt Girl and Candylicious. What are your theories? And I'll see you next time. Hope you have a great day.